Hey everybody, welcome back to another Scotch review. So today I'm going to do a classic Macallan 12-year-old. So Macallan is a brand that everyone knows. It's from Speyside, it's in many movies. Everybody looks to Macallan as a staple basically in the Scotch industry. So let's give it a pour, let it get some air. So you can see my pour. Now, one thing that sticks out immediately whenever you drink Macallan is the color. So the reason for that is these 12-year-olds are matured in ex-sherry casks. So they come from Spain and they basically have to put sherry to mature in these casks for at least 2 years. And then after they matured for the 2 years, then the Macallan team hand selects which casks come back. And then they put their new make whiskey or their cleric into these casks for a minimum of 12 years to make this. So Macallan is one of those, I don't want to say original, but one of those distilleries that registered themselves very soon after the Act of Parliament in 1823. So they would have been one of the first established 1824. So just like Glenlivet or Cardew, I think there are a couple of others that basically started around that time. They said, okay, we're from this region and it's now legal, so the government has eased up the restrictions a little bit, so let's start our distilleries. And Macallan has made a name for itself. So there are only 3 ingredients in Scotch: water, malted barley, and yeast. So there's a 4th ingredient that most people don't really talk about. It's caramel, E150 caramel coloring. So some distilleries, they're allowed to do it and still call themselves Scotch. So some distilleries do it. It's not illegal. And they do it because they want their Scotch to look a certain color, because I don't want to say this badly, but people who are not familiar with Scotch or familiar with distilleries, they might think that color of the liquid in the bottle means that it's better, so darker might mean better, which is not necessarily true. Just like an age statement is not necessarily better than a non-age statement. You really have to get into it, and my suggestion is try it. You're not going to know if you like it unless you try it. So even though you're looking at my review, this is my opinion, right? I would still suggest you try it. I mean, I'm just going to give you some guidelines based on my experience and what I think, but you have to try it at the end of the day to see if you like it, because you have to drink what you like. So Macallan very famously says that they add no coloring to their Scotch. Now look at this color. This is like rich, vibrant, it's past amber, it's past gold. So this is a very full pour because I like Macallan. So it's really rich, and I'm going to roll it around a little bit so you can get an idea of the legs on the whiskey and how quickly it runs down the glass, you know. And it's not running down yet. Now starting to run down, so that means very thick, very slow lines running down. So that tells me, again, creating a bias just by looking, but that tells me that this is going to be very complex and very robust, and when I add water it should have a whole other layer underneath there. We'll see, but so far, based on color, based on what I know about Macallan, based on the legs on it, I think I have an image in my mind that this is going to be a very nice drink, a nice dram, a nice drink of Scotch that I'm going to get right now. Now, this is not always true. Sometimes you may look at the color and you're like, oh, this is real good, this is going to be really good, because the distillery would have added the caramel to it. So you're creating a perception that's not really there. So it might have a dark color, you roll it around and then you see it runs very quickly. You're like, well, the color shouldn't do that, but I'll try it anyway, and then I get disappointed. So I like to play a little game on myself, in all honesty. So for me, I'm saying these things because I want to see if what I expect meets the reality when I actually nose, taste, and add water to complete the whole tasting experience. You may not need to do this. You may just want to drink it, but I prefer to, play a game because I rotate my Scotch very heavily. So you see my Macallan. I did drink this earlier in this year for sure. But you see, Macallan is almost done, almost time to get another bottle. And I rotate because every time I come back, it's like drinking it for the first time. I kind of forget what it was, I forget my tasting note. I'm like, all right, let's see what this is. Pull it back out and see how it goes. So I've jibber jabbered enough to give us enough time to let some air get into this. Let's go. I think it's 43%, if I'm not mistaken. 43%. I say that because I got the alcohol on the first nose, you know, stick your nose in, get past that, go to the second one. Sweet sherry, I mean, this is just some good scotch. Again, if you've been looking at my other videos, you know, when I get into some good scotch, I smile, I just can't help it. This is get that sherry finish, you get it, you get a little bit of fruit, but you get that sherry finish. Oh man, it's good. Slanjava. Man, that's good. So you want to roll it around your tongue. You want to hold it in your mouth for a couple of seconds. Let it go under your tongue, back of your tongue, front tip of your tongue, left and right. Because the different areas of your tongue have different taste bud sensory sensors, I guess, if you want to call them that. So you know, sweet, salty, sour, bitter, umami, they're all over your tongue. So you have to coat your whole tongue to get an idea. This is good. Oh man, this is good. There's some sweet, there's some fruit, a tinge of spice, sweet and fruit, smooth, no burning, nice finish. I still feel a little finish here, but it's a nice finish, not a harsh, burning finish. It's really nice. Man. Of course, Macallan is a staple of Speyside, which is the it's the current major whiskey producing area in Scotland. Most of the famous distilleries that you'll probably know, household names are there. Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, Johnny Walker, Dewars, they all get their base scotch for their blends come from there. So Cardew, Malt Black, they all come from this Speyside region. Now, Speyside wasn't always a region, right? It was specifically Highlands and Lowlands, and then I think 80s or so, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think around then they created Speyside as a region. Campbelltown was always a region, so that was the original region that was known for Scotch production until the 1920s when there was prohibition in the US and Campbelltown whiskey started to smuggle stuff through the Caribbean. So they would smuggle it through the Caribbean, deliver set to Bermuda and Bahamas, and they would then use these fast boats to get into the US to deliver. And their production could not keep up with the demand of the US during the Prohibition time. So they started watering down the Scotch and not fulfilling their own production standards. So therefore the Scotch that got to the US at the end of Prohibition was really substandard, and that kind of damaged the whole region. So there are only 3 distilleries I think there now. One more sip before I add water. Good. So, based on my evaluation initially, which is looking at it, rolling it around, looking at the color, taking the nose, I expect when I add water, it's going to be complex. So it's only like a real little bit of water. I mean, like a dab. It's a dab of water, not too much at all. Because I put such little water, color is not really going to change. Legs are still slow and thick. Nose changes. So again, because it's 12 years old, because I know of the Macallan history and the distillery, and they stick into their time established ways, I expected this. So add water, it's completely different nose. Fruit, light, no spice. Slanjava. Get a little spice now. That alcohol prickle on the tongue is gone. Finish is still smooth, but the spice is now in the finish. Good Scotch. This is some good Scotch. One of the things that Macallan is also famous for, one thing that they promote, is that they use smaller stills. So smaller stills are supposed to give you a better refined distillate or end product of the Scotch. Well, that's what they say. But I mean, Macallan is a household name, it's a standard, and clearly they'll keep into their standard. Good Scotch. So again, Macallan 12YO. I think the bottle has a new wrapping now, new label, new box, new case, but still finished in sherry oaks. Still very, very good, and I would definitely recommend it if you see a Macallan 12YO. Don't worry about it. It's a little on the pricier end, but you're paying basically for the brand you know is a standard, is a gold standard. So thanks for watching my review video. You know what I'm gonna say. Follow me on Instagram, Scotchmantt. Follow me on Facebook, Scotchmantt. You looked at this video, like and subscribe, share, let everybody follow me. Let's grow the community, and Slanjaba. See you on the next one. Thanks again, guys. Thank you for watching. See you at the next one.